Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Welcome back to
To PassingLaughs podcast.
PassingLaughs podcast.
PassingLaughs podcast.
I got something special. Trademark.
Oh!
Nope.
I'm waiting on a cue.
Fuck that.
Why?
I can't work under this pressure!
Throw it at the very end. It'll throw people off. Yeah.
How many knives is too many knives?
The human condition is bullshit. I was just going to say something problematic.
I quit.
You know what? Let's just move on.
I should have gone to a doctor 100%.
I don't believe any of that.
Welcome back to the PassingLaughs podcast. Today we talk about superstitions. Because for the most part, I believe we pretty much grew up with our own, superstitions. Our parents would tell us things that were probably based in fact at some point. We went on our own little research journeys, but Ross, what kind of superstitions did you have growing up?
Absolutely none. And yeah, especially for someone who grew up in Louisiana, I had
Louisiana.
It may be because it was a very religious upbringing. Most superstitions kind of derive from the devil or demonic stuff, or in some way, like, it's throw salt over your shoulder and you stop the devil from doing a thing.
I have something to say about that, but we'll get to it later.
So did you grow up with superstitions? Did you ever hear about like knocking on wood or like?
Yeah, sure. But not so much as a superstition, just kind of.
So like
it was a saying. It wasn't something I actually did or I saw anyone actually do.
Okay, other people, maybe you heard them say it, but...
Yeah, it was like, it was knock on wood, this works out.
Right.
It was never actual someone knocking on wood.
Oh, okay. I see.
Until I moved here. Then I saw a kid in school knock on his wooden desk for the first time. I was like, oh, that actually has a literal meaning.
Huh.
And then I started questioning all those little things that you hear. Kind of, yeah.
That's really interesting, because I grew up with all the superstitions. I didn't believe them, but I was taught them.
She's from that deep south.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I grew up in an Asian household as a non-Asian. And if there are a lot of superstitions, and if I did not heed them, I would be viciously beaten. Not viciously beaten, but I'd get popped.
Legit?
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yeah, they take the superstition pretty fucking seriously. It's actually, I compiled a list of them that I'm excited to share.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to be the pseudo audience for this for this episode, because I'll ask you questions that hopefully our audience would be asking, because like actually believing in, like, growing up in a household where, did your mom believe in this stuff?
She says no, but I think she did.
Kind of like a just in case kind of thing?
Yeah.
On some level, she did.
That makes sense. But yeah, like, we weren't even allowed to play with playing cards because that was gambling.
Oh.
So, like, mentioning shit that was anti-Bible or shit that the Bible told you not to dabble with was nah.
And now you're like balls deep in Magic the Gathering, so.
Oh yeah, and I dabble with card tricks and shit.
Yeah.
And
Well, you're a fucking heathen. You're a godless heathen.
Dude, compared to what I think my Louisiana family would have preferred, maybe.
You're gonna be damned to an eternity of suffering.
Also, in case you hear any of us coughing or wheezing or sniffling, we're in the heart of pollen season in the south here, so...
Wow, you got southern. You got more southern as you said that.
Haley, did you want to talk about some of the ones your mom kind of affronted you with?
One of the very first superstitions I remember my mom telling me was, if we were driving in the car, this one time a black cat ran across the road in front of us.
Oh boy.
And she actually turned the car around and went a different way.
No
way.
Yeah, because it apparently it's bad luck if that happens.
Yeah. I mean, I think that black cat crossing your path one is very popular. Mm-hmm. I didn't know. That is such an extreme reaction to that. I guess, like, that was just an omen in her mind, and it's
Yeah.
like a better safe than sorry situation. Maybe?
Yeah. Now, when I was a little bit older, it happened again, and we were in kind of a hurry, so I don't know if she just made this up or if it was something that she had also learned over the years. But she made 3 X's on the windshield, and then that somehow counteracted the black cat, and then we could keep going the way that we were going.
That's crazy.
That's some mental gymnastics right there.
I think that's oh, son of a dick. I think that's awesome.
And I would love to find out that she got home after she turned around. It was like, well, that's going to be super inconvenient, and Googled some remedies for it.
That could be, except for she didn't know how to use a computer at the time.
Wow, I've never heard. So I think everybody's heard of the black cat thing. I'd never heard of the 3 X's to counteract it.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I didn't know. So it's a black cat crosses your path. I guess if you turn around, it's no longer crossing your path.
Yeah, you have to go a different way.
Wow. Gold medal mental gymnastics. That's awesome. But I really like that. That's really fucking interesting to me. Because, theoretically, you could, sprint past the cat and run around
cut it off.
Yeah.
Or just, menacingly charge the cat so it runs away.
But what if it runs in the wrong way? Now you can't be on that side of town ever again.
Well, then I just keep chasing the cat until it chooses to go a different direction.
What if that cat runs in a circle?
Ah, shit, then I'm doomed.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm doomed. I'm in a circle of
Haley's
hex.
mom is out of there, though. Haley's mom gets the fuck out.
That's true. Because she knew the triple X technique.
Triple X technique.
Yeah,
Thank God she didn't know how to Google.
Dude, if we lived in a fantastical world, that would look so fucking awesome. If she just waved her fingers, drew 3 X's, and it was just a counter spell. That'd be fucking badass. Dude.
Maybe my mom's actually a wizard.
Maybe all I'm saying is you've never seen her not do magic. So how are we gonna do one after each other?
Yeah, if you want to.
All right.
You hit us with something cool, Beebs.
All right. So I don't know if you guys have. I may have talked about this one, but it's a superstition in actually a lot of Asian cultures, and that's shaking your legs. Have you guys ever heard of any superstition having to do with that?
My furrowed eyebrow says no.
I can't see because this is an audio thing, so I can't see your body language.
This just in, Beeves is actually Skyping in.
Yes.
That's still visual, fuck. Go ahead.
So in a lot of Asian cultures, shaking your leg is seen as a bad thing. When I was growing up, I would get smacked so hard for shaking my leg. Because the superstition is if you shake your leg, you lose your money. You just grow up poor. Yeah, you straight up, there's no bullshit. It's shake your leg, you lose all your money.
Any kind of shaking your leg?
You know how when you're impatient, or let's say, you drop your car off to get an oil change, but you forgot your phone, and there's no media to look at. So you kind of sit there and impatiently shake your leg,
Oh,
the rapid fire shake, you know what I'm saying?
Kind of just bouncing, or
yeah, your leg is bouncing.
Okay.
Yeah. I never questioned it until, you get to the age where you start questioning things. Because, I was getting smacked.
No, I get it. Yeah. That you and me were, on different sides of the country going, why the fuck do they say that shit? And go ahead.
It makes no goddamn sense. I was this makes no sense. So, my aunt was the worst about it. She would see me from across, her dining room, I'd be waiting for her to, cook everybody dinner. She would have a fucking wooden spoon with, whatever she was cooking still on the spoon. Hawkeye, see me shaking my leg, come over and just whack my knee with whatever sauce was on there. I'm just what the fuck, dude? But, this had been happening, throughout.
Yeah.
So, I started theorizing. I was okay, well, let's think about Asian cultures. Most of them were poor. Third world before, in our parents' generation and the generation before, they were very poor. So maybe they had loose pockets or I don't know, something that they would keep their money in. And when they shook their leg, they could shake out their money on accident.
Yeah.
So I was
maybe if they had holes in their pockets.
Right. It would wear out the fabric. I don't know how pockets work, but
no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a real life, origin.
Right. So that's what I got to thinking, but then I did some research.
Okay.
So, and I didn't find anything related to pockets, by the way. In Japan, it's considered rude and symbolizes that, like, you are impatient and,
Yeah.
yeah, like, not focused, so you're constantly, like, in motion. It just means you're an idiot, pretty much.
Nice.
But I actually talked to Uncle Sean from when I was working in the Vietnamese restaurant. I just casually brought up, like, how my mom and aunt and all other relatives used to beat the shit out of me for shaking my leg. And Uncle Sean was just like, Brandon, you do not shake your leg. I was like, what the fuck are you going to hit me to? Because he's like a middle-aged Vietnamese man.
Okay, so this is like...
He's not family. I call him Uncle Sean.
No. But like you said, all right, Vietnamese guy also believes this.
Yeah, middle-aged.
Japanese
also believe it.
Culture.
Yeah.
But do they believe it in the superstition or that you're just shitty and a bad person if you do that?
Vietnam kind of takes it to another extreme. I was like, can you give me a reason why?
I'm so excited about this right now.
He was like, Brandon, let's say you have a tree. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, if you disturb a tree, if you keep shaking the tree's roots, the tree will die. And he was like, your legs are your roots. And I was like, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard on the show.
I like that.
Yeah,
that makes
it's very poetic.
It is, because that's a thing in yoga too. They tell you to plant your feet and have yourself grounded and
Maybe there's like some sort of spiritual thing there.
Yeah.
But
if that shit was real, yeah. I mean.
But also, I
interesting.
kind of got to theorizing on that too. You know, Vietnam, war torn for a long time, not very prosperous. They had food, but like, you know, it's expensive. So my theory was that, like, if you constantly shake your legs, the kids who were burning extra calories and stuff.
Sure.
So like they were always hungry compared to the ones who were keeping still and like using little passive energy. Mm-hmm. That's my theory.
That's a little sciencey for when I imagine this came around, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's like my explanation for like what happened.
For sure.
Oh, because they had to spend all their money on extra food.
Maybe, or like the kids were dying because they were starving because they kept moving.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's still a rudimentary understanding that like put food in, you can move. Right. Don't move excessively. I mean, there's also like whole martial arts around moving as little as you need to.
Right, maximize efficiency, dude. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the shaking legs one. So don't shake your legs if you don't want to die and lose all your money.
Oh jeez,
get smacked.
I'm literally doing it right now.
I do it too. I'm one of those people who just never learns a lesson. So my years of youth were just filled with. My aunt still hits me to this day.
Oh my god.
The same aunt who hit me with the spoon still hits me. I'm a 24-year-old man. I'm a grown ass man, and she still like treats me like I'm 12 because I keep shaking my leg.
I want to meet this aunt so bad.
She's a tiger lady.
Right, so sure. your aunt sounds like my Aunt Glinda.
Classic Glinda. That is such a southern name.
Word.
Glinda.
She's probably smacked me more than the rest of my family combined. I was a troublemaker though, and it wasn't superstition. But yeah, ants are fucking violent.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. They're just fucking. Auntie, if you're listening, please don't hit me.
I just Googled some shit that...
he doesn't want to feel left out.
I don't. But, yeah, I just Googled Louisiana superstitions.
Right.
And most of them were either ones that are kind of, all over the place. But there was two that actually seemed rather... well, one was ridiculous, but they both involve swamp reptiles. So it was more appropriate.
So is this like... Are we getting into like cryptid territory?
No voodoo. No voodoo.
Okay.
None of that shit. Because that shit's real and we shrink heads.
Okay, hold on. Let's just revisit that for a second.
It's not. I can't talk about it on here.
Okay.
So secretive.
So apparently if an alligator crawls under your house...
Okay.
What a fantastical situation.
You know what? I want you guys to guess what... I'll tell you it's a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Will happen if an alligator crawls into your house.
It's a specific thing we're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not just bad omens. I did air quotes.
I guess your septic tank will explode.
I think that's too specific.
Oh, okay.
I would say then someone will get sick.
You wanna throw out an alt?
No. I'm sticking to my guns here.
So Haley's kind of close.
Okay.
But they guarantee that someone in your family will die.
Ah.
If an alligator, like, I guess it's, kind of like the alligator knows there's going to be a death soon, so why not hang the fuck
It
around?
smells it. That is so eerie.
But another one was,
Nope. One at a time.
these are like really short. You guys actually have shit about yours.
But you're gonna have to come back around, so you won't.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah, nerd.
But I could see that being true because, well, not true, but I could see it being a real superstition that people have because I don't know if you guys have ever heard the one where if a bird flies into your house, that means someone's gonna die.
I actually did not hear that one.
Yeah.
I didn't know it.
So much death.
I don't know. I'm not sure that I'd ever heard that at all.
Okay, well, it's definitely a southern thing around this area. Again, my mom told me that one. And she's not the only one, though, because she was at her friend's house one time, and a bird flew in, and my mom was going to say, hey, you know what that means? And they were all like, shh, don't say anything.
Oh.
What the
So, like,
fuck?
if you don't mention it, maybe it'll just leave and nobody will die.
That is fucking...
That's some
That
Voldemort
is so
shit.
eerie. That's so metal, dude. That's so goth.
Dude, Southern superstitions are kind of metal.
Yeah, that's fucking badass. But, like, that's horrifying, but badass.
Yeah, it's sketchy, though.
God, I'm gonna remember that one just in case a bird decides to be a fucking idiot.
Spoiler alert, it's not true.
How many houses have you had that had birds fly in them?
Actually, we used to get hummingbirds fly in the house all the time because there was a feeder like hanging above the garage, and they would get confused and like fly in sometimes.
For my next one, this is a kind of weird one. I couldn't really find an explanation for it, but I've encountered it a couple times. It was that if you step over a child, like let's say a child is like laying on the floor, and like you need to get to somewhere, like what's up?
Can I guess what you're going to say?
What?
He won't grow?
Yeah, it stunts their growth.
Oh, how
How'd
did
you
you
know that?
know?
I don't know. I felt it in my heart.
It must be true then.
Yeah.
Because I'm short as fuck.
Well, the superstition is like it stunts their growth. And also, if you do it to an adult, it's just super rude, and they can beat the shit out of you for it. Lot of beating in these. But I also, there's like a different variation too. I used to work when I was back at a different restaurant, and I was what do you call it? I was
Working.
no. I dipped my hand in a vat of fry oil. No, I'm just kidding. I did not.
Okay.
I was sweeping, and I had the dustbin, and one of my coworkers was asking for it, and but the kid was like right next to me, so I passed the dustbin and broom over his head, and tried to pass it to my coworker. And my boss flipped her shit. She was like, "You're gonna make him stop growing," and I was like, "That." No.
Was she serious?
Yeah, she was like without a hint of irony, she was like furious.
So even not just stepping over, but
Yeah.
even handing something over.
Well, I think it was because it was dirty, I guess. Like I guess the whatever sprinklings of dirtiness would get in and like corrupt his growth.
Oh my god.
Oh, so like the shit on the bottom of your feet might.
Yeah, like fall on the person and like I've because I used to step over my brother. He's taller than me, by the way. Fucking sucks.
You were
Your
stepped
younger
over.
brother.
Yeah, my younger brother, I used to step over him because like sometimes we would sleep on the floor and like I'm not about to walk over his dumb ass to go take a piss, alright? I mean, just whatever. The man's is taller than me, so debunked.
Right. Well, maybe you were walked over more.
Yeah, maybe he walked over me. What an asshole. He stunted my growth.
It just cuts back to, like, flashback in Brian's head, and he's just like skipping over you.
he's like using me as like sidestep training.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's mine. Ross, let's loop back over to you. What you got? What are you gonna hit us with?
Again, has to do with reptiles and the swamp. If a snake bites you, you have to chase it into the nearest body of water and dip your wound into that water.
Ew.
Just to be straight, go to the fucking hospital.
Do not do this.
But yeah, apparently that's...
God.
So unsanitary.
I know.
Yeah, swamp water is like disgusting, first of all. There's a lot of detritus in there.
What if that thing happens to like just swim into a puddle on a road.
Yeah, like an oil slick puddle. Ugh.
Just dip your fresh wound into the lake swamp.
So what is that supposed to do?
I don't fucking know.
Maybe keep you from dying?
It makes you die faster.
Well, there's
Gives you a quick and painless death.
No, the bacteria and parasites that get in actually fight off the poison. So all you have to deal with now is like tapeworm, and that's a lot better than dying from a venomous poisonous snake.
well, like there's always these really cyclical aspects to superstitions. It seems like like you go back to the source of whatever it is that fucks you up. Like your mom immediately turns around. Like, don't keep going that way. Go back to where you started.
Go to the source.
Don't finish stepping over that person. Go back. It seems like there's a cyclical element.
So I believe there's a culture in Africa where if you get bit by a poisonous snake, the way to combat the poison is to immediately hunt down that snake, kill it, cook it, and consume the snake.
As you're dying of
I think
poison.
that's badass as fuck, though. Like, oh, you bit me, I'm gonna bite the fuck out of you, dude.
Yeah.
I'll straight eat you.
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
At the very least, it's fucking tough.
Metal as shit. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't work. Definitely doesn't
It
work.
100%
If you get
doesn't
bit by a snake, please seek medical attention.
Yeah. But, side note, consuming venom from a snake doesn't hurt you. It can make you slightly sick, probably a little bit. But
I think it's only effective when it enters your bloodstream directly.
your stomach acid breaks down the venom. So like you can eat an entire snake.
Okay, so what if you just like...
If you have stomach ulcers, this doesn't apply. You can still die. That's legit.
Yes. If you have a drinking problem, do not drink snake venom.
Don't do that anyways. But
Haley, let's cycle back to you.
Okay.
because I'm literally out.
Oh, Eric, is that...
That's all I got, man.
Okay.
Dude, Louisiana it copies a bunch of other shit, and I don't want to get into the voodoo shit. Like it's
Yeah, you don't want to accidentally like cast a curse on your listeners.
well, it's not really superstition. It's just like its own little.
Isn't it a religion or like a
I mean,
belief system?
yeah, I guess, but like with magic
Sick.
and spells and
I can get
curses and
voodoo.
shit.
I'm gonna devote my life to voodoo. That sounds awesome.
Okay, don't do that.
That sounds cool. I want to shrink a head.
Dude,
Okay.
I want to sacrifice a chicken, cast a curse on someone. That sounds awesome.
have you not watched Scooby Doo?
Yeah. I want to be that guy.
Wow.
It's fucking awesome. I'm sorry, Haley.
Have you guys ever heard that if you spill salt at the dinner table, it's bad luck?
Yes, I have heard that one.
Okay, Ross,
I
have
didn't
you?
know just spilling it.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So, but did you know that there's also a way to counteract the bad luck?
Throw it over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yep.
Specifically, you're supposed to throw it over your left shoulder into the face of the devil creeping up behind you.
I didn't know. These are so ridiculous.
Oh, but there's more to this one.
Oh hell yes.
A
So,
part duh.
the origin is somewhat ambiguous. They're not really sure where it started because salt has always been really important in every culture, pretty
Purification.
much. Yeah, purification. It can help. Yeah, you purify and preserve meats and things. And
Purify though.
Sure. Yeah, like
With salt?
you can clean wounds with salt water.
Like, have you ever seen Supernatural?
Nope.
Oh, they use salt a lot. Like, it's like anti-demon.
Yeah,
shit.
but she's talking about origins.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's fine.
So, do you guys want to take a guess? Have you looked at that?
No.
Okay. Take a guess as
can't see
to
that
what
far.
you think is maybe the earliest recorded reference to this.
I'm gonna go with. Are we guessing like what the reference is or where it is?
Either or,
Yes.
whatever you think. A time, a place, an object, whatever.
I'm gonna go with Egypt.
Okay.
That's good. That's a good guess. I want to say somewhere in the Nordic areas. Like,
Okay.
way back when Vikings were a thing.
And I feel like you're gonna be drawing circles or some shit.
Nope.
Nope.
Is it
Okay.
Native America?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, it's actually from a very famous person that you have both heard of.
Benjamin Franklin? Shakespeare?
I don't know when he was, but I
Me
think it's
neither.
earlier than that.
Okay.
Earlier, yes, earlier.
Attila the Hun.
That's where I was
Alexander the
gonna
Great. No?
No. Wait.
He was
Sun Tzu.
an artist.
Van Gogh. Leonardo da Vinci.
Hey, there it
I'm
is.
a fucking genius. 12
right.
times the charm.
What the fuck does the Ninja Turtles have to do with this shit?
Okay, so if you look closely at the Leonardo da Vinci's painting of the Last Supper,
Okay.
there is a little
my
container
God.
of spilled salt sitting right in front of
No.
Judas.
No.
Yes. And in case, there are people listening who don't know, Judas was the guy that betrayed Jesus, and obviously the salt was foretelling that he was going to have
Oh my god.
bad luck.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
Is that the earliest? That's
That's
what.
the earliest official recorded use of this. So we don't know. Maybe he came up with it. Maybe not. I don't know.
I'm locking down Cleopatra as the person who came up with
That's
this.
so fucking cool. I feel smarter just from learning that. I feel like I can flex my new knowledge on someone.
Yeah. So we can post a picture, a close up of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
on our Instagram.
That's so cool. That's neato. I feel like I can win Jeopardy now. Oh, is it back to me? Cool.
Yes, it is.
It's just YouTube, by the way. So it's. I'm gonna throw in my 2 cents.
Let's see. I want to come up. I'm gonna bring you an interesting one.
Okay.
This was from my own unique experience. I could not find anything about this. There's variations of it throughout, old school parenting. This is kind of like specialty a la grandma, because she took care of us most of the time, and I was I was like a crybaby. I was a whiny little wiener.
What do you mean was?
Yeah, bitch.
You guys can't be doing this. But when I was crying and I just would not stop crying, I don't know what my grandma's logic was, but she would say that if I kept crying, a tiger would come, and she'd be like, "Do you hear that tiger?" Right outside. As a child, I was fucking 3, 4. This is when I prime crying time. That would make me cry even harder. I don't know what her logic was, but she'd be like, "Do you hear that tiger? If you don't stop, he'll come in because he'll hear you."
I'll tell you exactly what that logic is.
What?
You have to stop crying to hear it.
Yeah.
For a moment of silence.
Yeah. And so, if she gets you to stop crying, you're done. You're not going to stop crying and then start crying again. And just
that shit just made me cry even harder, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, I would cry, and then I'd hear that there's a tiger about to eat me, and I'd be like, well, shit, he already heard me. So I guess I need to embrace being eaten by a tiger.
That's some baby logic.
Yeah.
That's some.
But the thing is this kind of the Korean use of a threatening force to stop their children from crying or something was very common, because when I was growing up, we used to go over to my aunt a lot, the same aunt that beat the shit out of me with a wooden spoon. And
Is your aunt a nun?
my cousins also used to cry a lot too, and she would use my grandma on that side, because that's my aunt on my dad's side. So we'd go over to my aunt's, and my cousins would be crybabies too. But she would use the grandma that lives in Korea, who is infamous in the family for being a super hard ass. First of all, her voice, you guys think I'm loud? I think I get it from her, because her voice is 1,000,000 decibels. She will shatter your face with her voice. My aunt would threaten the kids with bringing in that aunt or that grandma.
Oh.
So, yeah. My aunt would threaten them and be like, "Oh, I'll call grandma to come here, and then I'll give you something to cry about." And it's
I've heard that one.
yeah. So I guess that's kind of similar carryover.
Mm-hmm.
Give you something to cry about?
Yeah.
That's just parent 101.
Yeah, that's true.
You have a child and you're like, never said that before. Sounds good.
If I was being reluctant to do anything, she would threaten to strip me naked and kick me out of the house. I was a child, by the way. I was in 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
growing up was pretty tough. But yeah.
Now, okay.
Threats were heavy in the household.
So strip you naked and kick you out of the house.
Yeah, because she'd be like, "Oh, you're not doing this." You realize, this is mine. I bought you this shit.
Ooh,
so if you're not
fuck.
appreciated,
God damn.
early lessons.
My mom's version of that was, I'll rip those pants off and beat you in front of God and everybody.
I heard that one.
Walmart.
Yes,
in line
I've
at
heard that
not
one.
even get out of line at Walmart. Quit my ass.
My mom used to beat me in public.
Okay.
Yeah, straight
Just
Mine at least threatened to take me to the bathroom.
oh no. She was like, "No, you're embarrassing me. I'm gonna embarrass you."
Yeah. My mom used to just pop me right in the line at the grocery store. That shit was hilarious.
Don't beat your kids out of
Hilarious.
Yeah. I think back on it, I'm like, that's pretty fucking funny. I probably deserve that shit.
Beeves laughs so he doesn't cry. Passing Cries podcast.
Jesus Christ, man.
Okay. All right, Haley, what you got?
All right, let's see. Have you ever heard that it's bad luck to open an umbrella in the house?
Yes. Sure.
So, do you know why,
And
where
next.
that started?
I don't know why. I've just always heard it.
Yeah.
Never questioned it.
So, I learned some things when I was reading about this because I always thought my mom was just like, don't open it because, like...
Because it looks stupid.
Yeah.
Is that a direct quote? Or-
Yeah, pretty much. So there are actually two different versions of where this could have started. One is ancient Egypt,
Hell
when
yeah.
they used umbrellas to shade themselves from the sun instead of rain.
Okay.
And so they thought if you opened your sunshade inside or in the shade already, that it was an insult to the sun god. And so
That's
he
pretty
might
fucking
punish
hardcore.
you.
I love
That's
that.
legit.
That's cool.
Now, there's another one that I actually think is more relevant and probably more likely the origin of this particular superstition.
Okay.
It was 18th century when the waterproof umbrellas first came into being popular, but they were spring-loaded and really kind of haphazard and dangerous. So if you push the button and open that thing, it could like, bam, pop open. And if you were inside, you'd probably hit someone or
Right.
break something or...
That makes a lot. I feel like that's more likely.
See, I assumed it was just like moms being like, God, that kid's gonna want to push that fucking button, and because
That's what I thought too.
because my mom was like, no, that dumb idiot will press that button, knock over my vase,
Yeah.
but fucking Egypt, that's dope.
I like the Egypt one from like a storytelling
Yeah.
point, but the 18th century one makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, no, that's like probably where it came
Yeah.
from.
I think
Imagine
so.
being so metal you just fucking affront the sun god. Fuck you, dude. I'm gonna open this goddamn umbrella when the sun don't shine just to fucking spite you, you piece of shit.
All right, so we've been talking about superstitions for a while now, and I think all of us have quite a few more we could go on. So we should probably end the episode here, and we can come back next week with another. What do you guys think?
End of tape
Yeah.
1.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Peace out, nerds.